Alright, y'all, this is the second part to this video about the Constellation Orion and how it's really goddess Hekate. Okay, I wanted to give a little bit more information about this. And why I associate it with her. So, let me show y'all something about lunar mansions. Okay. There's basically in astrology what's called lunar mansions, alright? And they're different sectors of the sky that the moon travels through. And they each have a different associated power or influence, okay? And there's different ones because there's Arabic, the Chinese, Egyptian, and Indian, okay? And I have not looked at all of the different ones as far as which of these lunar mansions is associated with the constellation Orion, okay? So, Heka and Orion. Okay, that's interesting. The word Heka in Egyptian means magic, and we know Hekate is the goddess of magic. All right, so I just thought that was interesting as well. I want to show y'all though, because I use Vedic astrology, so let me show y'all in Vedic astrology. The lunar mansions are called nakshatras, and the specific one that is associated with constellation Orion is this one here, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but I wanted to show y'all. It's a composite of the words that mean animal or beast and the meaning head, or precisely the top of the head. So usually it's portrayed as a deer, so a deer's head. And that's interesting because with the sigil that I created for goddess Hekate, even before the 2 years ago when I found out that about the constellation Orion being associated with her, I had created that sigil, and let me show y'all. Really quickly, if I can find it. Probably in my Instagram photos. It should be somewhere in here. So, now I have a picture of it somewhere in here. Basically, okay, here's one of them. So this is the sigil, or Hecate's Veve, and the top of it, okay, it just kind of does, in a way, look like a deer's head with antlers. Okay, I just thought that was interesting to consider as well. Okay, you can see it right there behind me in this picture. The top of it anyway. It could be like some kind of horned animal. Okay. So I just thought that was interesting to share as another aspect to this. I did not mean to show you all that picture of me. Okay, but usually each of these nakshatras is either associated with an asterism of stars or a specific star. And the one that's associated with Constellation Orion is called the Star of Searching. And really this is talking about people who are born with the moon conjunct one of these nakshatras, lunar mansions. So it's giving you the information of how the influence is on a specific person rather than the influence at large. Symbol is an antelope or deer. Okay. So you can do more research into that to find out more information. Another aspect of all of the reasons why I associate Orion with goddess Hekate is the date of August 13th. Okay. Hecate's night is August 13th. Okay. This is well known as one of her sacred nights. Okay. Now let's see what is Constellation Orion associated with August 13th. Well, on August 13th, Constellation Orion is basically at the zenith of the sky. And if you don't know what the zenith of the sky is, it's the very top center of the sky at nighttime or at daytime, whatever. But specifically on the night of August 13th, Constellation Orion will be at the zenith, usually, okay? Y'all can look this up because I don't plan out what links I'm going to show y'all because I learned all of this like 2 years ago now, so I didn't save the links from when I learned it all, but y'all can look it up. Toward dawn on the creation night of August 13th, the constellation Orion moves toward the zenith. Okay. So, I don't know what links I'm clicking on or what I'm going to be showing y'all because, once again, I didn't plan out the links I'm going to be showing y'all. It looks like that was a dud. But, the information's there for you to look up, okay, and understand it or research into it, whatever. They called it the creation night. Okay. It is the place of creation. All right. They're calling it about the world tree. And we know that Hekate is the world soul. You can do research as well into that. The world tree and the world soul are the same thing, basically. What else was I going to show you on this video? I really should have planned these videos out more better for y'all, but I wanted to show y'all some other information about this constellation. What's that? I know what I'm typing, but I'm trying to find y'all this information that I found last night. It's Orion is visible in the northern and the southern hemispheres, okay? It's basically Okay, so another thing to consider with this is um, this information here. Um, Constellation Orion occupies the midway between the northern and the southern hemispheres of the heavens during the winter solstice each year. And during this time, the constellation Orion takes a standing position in the midnight skies at midnight. It is suggested that in the winter solstice, the energies in that region, the region of the constellation Orion, will be at a peak of emission. Okay? This occurs during each winter solstice within which the period of grace or golden mean is reached. This grace period was also called the Osiris Gate. So I wanted to show y'all. Hekate is a liminal goddess. She's known as a mediator goddess in the Chaldean oracles between the Most High God and humans. Between Source and humans, she's the cosmic soul. She's part of us and she's part of God as a whole. What am I trying to say? She's the soul of God as a whole, and she's also we are each a piece of her one soul. So she's the in-between being, okay? She's known as a bridge or a liminal goddess, okay? So this is just another reason, another uh, factor to this, okay? So I thought that that was an interesting thing to include in this video. Another thing, this is actually showing the warrior constellation or the warrior association imprint as a woman instead of a giant man, Orion. An expression that can give better understanding of the nebula importance, where the nebula can be seen as the womb of the warrior female, okay? So I guess I'm not the first person to understand that this constellation is actually feminine instead of masculine. It's not the Greek Orion, it's actually goddess Hekate. Okay. So I just found this link last night and I wanted to include this in the part 2 video to this. This article is basically just saying that divine mind or divine soul emanates from this area of the sky, okay, from this constellation. So I just thought that was interesting. Y'all can look this up and read the whole thing. But they're known as paraphysical doors. The different constellations, okay? So I just wanted to share that. Another thing I think I want to go ahead and include in this that I came across. When I was researching about Orion, it's inevitable for you to come up with the association with the pyramids of Giza and how they're in alignment with Orion's belt. If you research into this, you will come up with that as well. And something very intriguing to me that I came across has to do with Egypt. Okay. I'm trying to locate that information real quick. Yeah, here's what I was going to show y'all. The English name Egypt is derived from the ancient Greek, whatever. It is reflected in early Greek linear B tablets. Is that? The Greek forms were borrowed from the late Egyptian. Okay, this word here. A corruption of the earlier Egyptian name. Look at this name of what the ancient people called Egypt. Okay, that's important to understand because I think that this is also associated with Hekate. Okay, look at the pronunciation of that. And the meaning was home of the Ka or soul of Te. That's how you actually pronounce this Egyptian god. Y'all can look him up too. His name is actually pronounced Te. Home of the Ka. Let me show y'all what a Ka is. Ancient Egyptian concept of the soul. Okay. The vital spark. That's what the Ka is. Remember, Hekate is the cosmic soul. All right. Egyptians believed that Hekate was the creator of each person's Ka. Okay. Let's go back. This was the demiurge of Memphis, god of craftsmen and architects. Okay, he was the father of the sage Imhotep. Y'all remember in my other video I was talking about Ophiuchus, and the Egyptian association with the constellation Ophiuchus was Imhotep. Okay? So this is the creator god. So the name Egypt means a house of the soul of the creator god. Well, we know that in the Chaldean oracles, Hekate is the cosmic soul, and she is the soul of the creator god. So Egypt is named, I believe, after goddess Hekate. All right. Okay, so I just wanted to point this out to y'all. It's very important with how the ancient Egyptians pronounce their own country's name. All right. I don't know the exact pronunciation because I don't speak Egyptian, but that looks like Hekate to me, or Hekate. And just the meaning of it, home of the Ka, which is the soul of Ta. Okay. So let me see. I mean, basically, I guess you can look it up on YouTube itself. Let's see.
Ptah or Ptah. Ptah or Ptah.
Oh, okay, that's kind of annoying. So I guess the P sound is in there, but I don't think it's a stretch to think that that might have been corrupted. I mean, it said on Wikipedia that the word Egypt was a corrupted from the original Egyptian anyway. So, interesting. I'm trying to find information about this god. So we just see that he's a creator god basically. And Egypt was known as a place that was the home of his spirit or his soul, okay? That's what the name means. So, in other words, Egypt is the home of goddess Hekate. Now, another thing I wanted to show y'all is Heka. And that is the deification of magic in ancient Egypt, okay? Heka existed before duality had yet come into being. So this predates religion, as we all know that magic does. The term Heka was also used to refer to the practice of magical rituals, okay? Egyptians believed that activating this power of the soul was how magic worked. The word Heka means action of the Ka or activation of the Ka, okay, being the ancient Egyptian concept of the vital force. Hekate, working with her divine spirit within you. Okay, so this is just some other interesting information that I came across and I wanted to share with y'all about all this. So, I just thought that's interesting. I just wanted to share that. And y'all leave comments or let me know what you think about all this, or if you find any interesting links, share it in the comment section, or other information. But once again, I have not covered all of the different things that I found 2 years ago when I first found all this out. So, very interesting. But alright, I just wanted to share all this with you. I'll see you on the next video. I might do another update about this later on.